Hey, y'all, welcome to the video. This your girl, Tanetta. Today, we're doing some Reddit stories. Am I wrong? It's the category today, y'all. And this first one that I picked, I can relate because I have been in this position many a times with several different people, family or not. So, being a social worker, I'm in that position anyway. But like I said, definitely with family and friends and stuff like that, I have definitely been in this position. And a lot of y'all probably can relate to this. So, let's go ahead and get into this. Am I wrong for telling my siblings that I'm done being the family therapist, the family mediator, the family memory keeper, and the family planner all at once, while somehow also being the one who gets told they're too much whenever they have a need of their own? Told y'all, let's go ahead and get into this one. I've been the responsible one my whole life. Not because I volunteered, just because somebody had to be, and I was apparently standing closest. Lord, I can't read, y'all. What the world's going on? And I was apparently standing closest when the role got handed out. I'm the oldest of four. I'm 31. For as long as I can remember, I have been the person my family runs on. Like I said, y'all, I know y'all can identify with this too. Let me know in the comments if you're the person who's always been the strong one, always been the therapist, always been the helper, all these kind of things. Let me know, y'all. I can remember the birthdays. I organized the holidays. When my parents were going through something hard 6 years ago, I was the one who held everyone together while quietly falling apart in a car park on my lunch break because that was the only place nobody needed anything from me. Ooh, Lord. Yep. When my siblings have problems, they call me. When there is conflict between them, they call me. When there is a family decision to be made, everyone looks at me like I have a manual nobody else was given. I have never once said I didn't want this. That's the part I have to own. I just keep doing it because it needed doing, and I love them, and that felt like enough of a reason for a long time. I may be butchering this, y'all. That's all right. 2 months ago, I had a genuinely hard season. Nothing dramatic, just the accumulated weight of a lot of things landing at once. I reached out to my siblings, not asking them to fix anything, just saying I was struggling, and it would mean something to hear from them. 3 of them responded with varying levels of warmth. 1 forgot to respond entirely and remembered 4 days later. Strong people, y'all, that does happen, unfortunately. When I finally said something honest about feeling like the give and take in this family has never been balanced, my youngest sibling told me I was being dramatic, that I'd always been the strong one, that it wasn't fair to change the rules now. Wow. And that is how people feel, to be honest, y'all. I told her that being the strong one was never a rule I agreed to. It was just a role that got assumed because I never said no loudly enough. The group chat has been weird since. Am I wrong for family saying no loudly enough? No, you're not wrong for saying no loudly enough. You did just right. If you're going through a hard season, like you said, having some hard times, and you're trying to reach out to your family, your siblings for help, and people are responding, why do you need my help? And you're the strong one, you figured out all these kind of things. No, you're not wrong for stepping back. Now, I would definitely suggest to have a conversation with everybody, if you can, if there's a group of y'all, like at a holiday or whatever's coming up that you everybody's going to be at. I would definitely say have a conversation with them. Instead of just the one person that you were talking to, but just have a conversation with them as well. With everybody, parents included, to let them know that this is not a role that you signed up for. Exactly what you said in this text. I know it is hard, of course, being the strong one. I was always that person too. People call, people depending on what to do next, planning stuff, which I love to plan stuff, don't get me wrong. I'm event planner in the heart, I put it that way. I love planning stuff. But like I said, sometimes it just becomes too much and nobody else seems to care when you're going through things and reach out and ask how you're doing or anything else because they're so used to you being the strong one and checking on everybody else first. And nobody really checks on you. So like I said, you're definitely not wrong. This is a pattern I've seen since I was young, I put it that way. And that there's always at least one person in the family. And like I said, y'all, put it in the comments as if this is you, if you're the strong person that's been in your family, the one who everybody depends on, the one who everybody calls when something's wrong or wants to fix things or whichever the case may be. Let me know in the comments, y'all. Let me know Did you talk to your family about this too? Or were you just chosen to be the strong one because you were either the oldest or the one who had the better job or the better life, they thought, or whichever the case may be? Let me know in the comments, y'all. And let me know, are you still the strong one to this day, still doing these same things? Or have you, of course, switched up like this person, telling his family, I can't do this no more? And like I said, this person, though, I know the siblings said that this person was too much. They're not being too much or dramatic. They're trying to get help too. Being the strong one, yes, you do need help a lot of times. We may not say, but yes, we do need help a lot of times. And nobody comes to our rescue because we're always rescuing everybody else. Like I say, he's definitely not wrong. I read a few of the comments just under. It says, you are not wrong. You are not too much. They're just doing too little. They're only upset because the person who does everything for them is finally setting a boundary. That is right. It is easy for them to call you the strong one because it means they don't have to help you. You deserve siblings, not projects. Yeah, y'all, this goes into not just siblings, like I said. It goes to parents, partners, kids. It goes to everybody, friends. I know that he's talking about siblings, but across the board, it goes to everybody, including your workplace. Let me read the second one. I felt this in my soul, so did I. Being the strong one is just a trap to keep you from ever having needs. It is very telling that the moment you asked for a little bit of support, they turned it around and made you the villain. You are not changing the rules. You are finally asking to be treated like a human being. Not wrong. I agree, y'all. All right, y'all. Let's go to the next one, y'all. Uh-oh. Hold on. Okay. Let's go to the next one, y'all. Oh my goodness. Let me see. Okay, we'll take this. This has to do with family too. Put it that way. And I'm sure we can identify with this one. Am I wrong for refusing to go along with the family decision that has already been made without me? Now, I know I've been in that position too. Things have been made. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Nobody told me what's happening. But let's read what this person has to say. A few months ago, there was a big family issue involving a property that belonged to an older relative who could no longer manage things on their own. Nothing dramatic or rich people level, just one of those situations where suddenly everybody starts using phrases like, what's best? We all need to be practical. I was told early on that when the time came, the family would sit down together and decide what to do. I believe that. I am one of the people this directly affects, not some distant cousin who just shows up for food and opinions. So when I got the invite to a weekend get-together to finally talk it through, I assumed that was exactly what was happening. Instead, I walked into a conversation that very obviously had a full script before I even got there. The first weird thing was how polished everybody sounded. Not rehearsed in a movie way, just suspiciously aligned. Every concern I raised already had a neat answer. I know y'all can identify with that, y'all. Let me know in the comments. Every alternative had already somehow been ruled out. They kept saying things like we've been thinking and the general feeling is, which is a lovely way to say the decisions were made in private and now they need one more person to shut up and nod. At one point, somebody even slid a folder towards me with notes, numbers, and a rough timeline, which would have been helpful if I had been included before all the conclusions got wrapped up with the bow. When I asked to put this together, I got a bunch of vague answers and a quick subject change. It became painfully obvious that I had not been invited there to help deciding anything. I had been invited there to legitimize something they had already been planning to do, so nobody could later say I was excluded. Y'all, I know y'all, this is making me mad, but I know y'all can identify with this, I'm sure. Basically, I was being asked to play the role of consulted family member after the consultation part was already over. I said I wasn't comfortable agreeing to anything that had been framed as a group decision when it clearly wasn't one. That did not go over well. I'm sure it didn't. Suddenly, I was accused of making an already stressful situation harder, being too sensitive about wording, and caring more about my pride than about solving the actual problem. One person told me that not every decision has to include every single person from the beginning, which is funny because apparently mine was the only voice that didn't matter until they needed cover. I've left without signing off on anything, and since then, I've been getting the whole greatest hits package. I'm delaying progress, I'm adding tension, I'm forcing everyone to revisit things that are basically settled anyway. My view is pretty simple. If you already made the choice, own that. Don't call it a family decision and drag me in the end so you can borrow my silence as consent. Now I'm being treated like the difficult one for refusing to bless a process that felt dishonest from the start. Y'all, I can identify with that as well. Y'all, like I said, in some families, well, I'm going to say some, in a lot of families, this of course does happen, unfortunately. Where somebody's, the family comes together, meeting, already talking, that kind of thing about whatever it is. And it sounds like somebody needs to be moved out of their home, or maybe getting too old, or something's going on with the health and they can't care for the home no more. That's what it sounds like to me. Because I deal with these kind of clients as a social worker when it comes to caregiving and stuff. And of course, it does seem like one person usually gets left out. The person who usually has all the opinions, who has all the questions to ask and all those types of things that nobody else wants to hear. Like I said, let me know in the comments what your thought is. Let me read, let me see. Y'all, I got to keep moving a little bit. Okay. There we go. But I understand what this person is saying. Trust me on that one. The first, let me see. And it doesn't really say, like I said, the whole situation, what happened, what's going on, what had to be signed. I do not know because it does not say that in this text. But all we can go off of is what this person has said. But the first comment, it says, we're all the people who made the decision, or were all the people who made the decision directly affected by this situation like yourself. To me, anyone directly affected has a say, and anyone who is not to butt out. The next one, I felt like your post is being too vague. It is clear whatever decision is being made will impact not only you, but others around you. The question is, how much is everyone going to be impacted, and whether the impact is positive or negative? That's the same question I got too. Like I said, there is not a lot of information about it, so I don't know. Let me see. That's too long. I want to read that one. It's way too long. Let me see. Okay, let me see. I don't want to go into all that. Okay. You are wrong to submit a story without any of the important information. How does it impact you? How does it impact the rest of your family? So like I said, yeah, people are asking the same thing. But I know when it comes to situations like this, sometimes one person or a few people are left out. The people who do have a lot of opinions, have a lot of questions to ask and trying to understand the situation. And they call them difficult. I guess I put it that way. Just because you're asking questions, trying to get things done, trying to figure out what's best for this situation. But like I said, excuse me, like I said, this does happen, but hopefully this person will come back and give some more information at some point. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? We'll see. Let me see. That's friendship. Let me see. Okay, we can talk about this one, y'all. This is an interesting one because I know we've all in some time or another either dealt with infidelity for, I guess, in our own relationship or somebody personal close to us that we know. So this is the last one I'm going to read, but let me go ahead and get into this. It says, am I wrong to let the girls know that they're being cheated on? So there's my guy friend. I shared some tea with him. Uh-oh. My ex, his friend, got caught on multiple cheating. What? How I know this? This is because my ex, okay, I can't read this, y'all. It's too many arrows. I can't figure out what's going on. Let me see. I'll read something else, y'all, because that's a little bit, let me see. Trying to see if I can find another one for us, y'all. Okay, I can do this one. This is my relationships too, y'all. Partner relationships. Am I wrong for feeling upset over this exchange? I've been talking to this guy for about 2 months now. We've gone on a few dates and get along well in person, but I've started noticing some inconsistency over text. He barely messaged me the whole day until this, and it's at 10:42 p.m. Hey, I got time before I go to sleep. I got like 5 or 10 minutes to call if you want to talk for a bit, is what the girl said. The guy, I'm falling asleep. I can't anymore. When I texted earlier, it was like last call. And that was maybe like 12 minutes later. So I guess he's going to sleep now in 12 minutes. I just reacted to his message with a thumbs up and didn't say anything else because it honestly turned me off. I know 10 or 15 minutes isn't a huge delay, But I feel like someone really wanted to talk. They would have either called or stayed up a bit longer, especially since we hadn't talked all day. Am I overreacting for feeling a bit upset about this, or is this a sign of low effort? Like I said, the first message came through at 10:42. He was asking, hey, I got time now before I got to sleep. She sent the message back at 10:53. I got like 5 or 10 minutes to call me if you want to talk a bit. 10:54, he said he fallen asleep. He can't anymore. I don't know if you're wrong for feeling upset over this exchange. I mean, that's something that, if it's something that that's sparking some kind of insecurity within inside of you or that type of thing, or you already have been feeling like this is not a good relationship that you need to be in, that's something, I don't know, but it wasn't shared all the way, I guess, inside this text. But like I said, I mean, I wouldn't be upset about it. I guess I put it that way. So, I mean, I can't say whether you're obviously upset about this situation. But I'm not sure in this situation if he wanted to come by actually, or since you said you could take a call and he wanted to actually come by your house. I have no idea what the underlying meaning of that was. But like I said, definitely it's okay to be upset about anything that you want to be upset about. Just know that some people I fall asleep really quickly. So, I mean, I can't in 10, 12 minutes. So I can't say if I haven't got the message back in 10, 12 minutes, I may be asleep too. So it just depends on the person. But like I said, you're not wrong for getting upset about this. Or like I said, I'm not sure if it's a sign of low effort. He could have had a hard day at work and he could have just been tired. It may not be low effort. He could have just, like I said, just been tired. Everybody's may not have, I don't know what kind of schedule he has, work schedule, or if he volunteers somewhere as well, if he has pets at home or kids at home. I have no idea. But like I said, definitely he could have just been tired and couldn't wait up any longer. Maybe he wanted to say something in those few minutes to get out and that was it. I don't know. But like I said, hopefully there's, like I said, you can get upset about it, but like I said, you have to deal with yourself about why you got upset about this. Whether that's some kind of insecurity or whether this has happened to you in the past relationship, and you're like, okay, is he doing the same thing? That part you're going to have to grapple with that one. Somebody said, seems like he was just tired. That's the first comment. Second one, the timing thing feels a bit off, but people genuinely do crash hard sometimes, especially if they've had a long day. What bugs me more is the last call comment. Treating a conversation like some kind of deadline makes it feel pretty transactional rather than wanting to actually connect with you. Yeah, it could. It could. It could. It definitely could. This other person said it's weird, but if it's a one-off, don't overthink it. Somebody else said, honestly, he could be busy, but a simple text to say I'm busy today, we'll call, message later, would suffice. But if he's only giving you 5 or 10 minutes at the end of the night before going to sleep, I'd say that is a sign of low effort. Oh, okay, and that you also aren't the top priority for him. Oh, okay, it says you might need to reevaluate this relationship. Okay, I think I missed that, y'all, in the beginning. So this person was saying that he waits until the whole day is gone, he waits until the whole day is gone before he even contacts her, and this was at 10:42 p.m. The first time he contacted her, this has been going on for a while. So now I understand that. Okay, I missed that part. Forgive me, y'all. I missed it. Okay, now. All right, I missed it. So that of course, like I said, changes things for me. What I said, like I said, it does sound like it's low effort or that you're not the number one priority. I don't know if y'all have only been dating, it sounds like, or talking for about 2 months. Have you all went on dates? Have you seen this? Have you been to his home? Have you met the parents or anybody else in his family, friends, to make sure that there is nobody else or he isn't hiding a wife or kids or somebody somewhere else? Because to go all days, many times during the week, and like I said before, I have no idea what his work schedule is, but everybody has a break at work. At least a 30-minute break, or at least a few minutes that you can send a text, hey, how you doing? I'll talk to you later. Like I said, that definitely does sound like low effort, especially if he's not making an effort to, of course, contact you all day until almost 11 o'clock at night. That sounds like a booty call to me, but who am I to say? I don't know who this guy is or what y'all have been doing. I don't know that part. It hadn't said, so I don't know. I don't know if there's any updates. I don't see anything, but like I said, that's something that you're going to have to decide what to do with. I put it that way. If it keeps happening, like this person said, one of the people that responded said, you're going to have to figure out what this relationship is for you. And this person is commenting, I'm looking at this. This person said, I had an ex like this, wanting to sex at 11 p.m. at night. And when I've got to be up at 5, nope again. You're not wrong. Well, like I said, that's okay. I don't know. Like I said, those are these folks have spoken. So, and I have given my little two cents on this too. But like I said, definitely y'all let me know in the comments which one of these stories stuck out to you, and why. I guess to put it that way as well. If you had a situation like this, if you've been going through things like this with the siblings not wanting to, of course, help you when you need help, and you're always the strong one, or with your family leaving you out of the conversation and waiting until the last moment to include you when they've already made the decision, or in this situation with the partner's only contacted you at night, late at night, and not anything during the day. Like I said, let me know in the comments, y'all, how y'all feel about this. Like I said, I definitely want to hear from y'all. Peace out. And if you have a story that you want me to read as well, and I'm not confidentially, if you have a story that you want me to read as well, to give some tips and some hacks and all that kind of stuff with it, let me know. Like I said, you can send it to my email address, and I will put that in the description as well for you all. So with that, y'all, take care. I'll see y'all in the next Reddit story. Peace out.